More Jays trades are imminent as following a huge trade by acquiring Shane Bieber. A brand new report has dropped revealing some huge information surrounding Ross Atkins' next move. And folks, the Jays are not only all in, but more trades are imminent according to Ben Nicholson Smith. We're going to dive into the exact reports, discuss what it means going forward, as they aren't just only in on the relief market, they're in on a bat as well. We also have multiple other updates as we are now just 4 hours, a bit more than 4 hours away from the trade deadline. But before we get into it all, folks, we're getting closer and closer to 20,000 subscribers. If you want to help continue supporting the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You guys have been an absolute piece of the support. Folks, the Jays started this morning by acquiring Shane Bieber. They acquired Sir Anthony Dominguez a few days ago. They are all in right now, and as of the time of recording, they are active in talks for a bunch of different players, and let's go through the board. And again, things are fluid. As soon as news drops, we will keep you up to date. But following the Shane Bieber acquisition, Ben Nicholson Smith came out and revealed that, you can see here, they've acquired high leverage arm Shane Bieber, and Sir Anthony Dominguez, and Shane Bieber is a Cy Young winner. The Jays aren't done with relief pitching and bench help, still avenues for improving the MLB roster. So basically, Ben Nicholson Smith came out and revealed that, more moves are absolutely coming. The expectation is that it's going to be more than just a relief pitcher. It's going to be a bat as well. But with a lot of the relief pitchers off the board, there is still a lot of them left. The Jays are absolutely not done. And as of a bit less than an hour ago, Ben Nicholson Smith went on the Blake Murphy show and said, my expectation now, or Sportsnet 590, the fan rather, with Blake Murphy, my expectation now is that they add one more relief pitcher and try to add some bench help. So this is pretty big news, and we're going to dive into some of the targets that new reports are coming out. And again, as we're recording, things are flying right now surrounding news. Stay tuned as well for a potential live stream later tonight. Stay tuned for that. Might not happen, but if it does, of course, we'll have noties on. But one relief pitcher and a bat. And for a while now, it seemed that the Jays weren't actually going after a bat. They're going to look to add a righty hitter who mashes lefties. And of course, following the Shane Bieber trade, Ken Rosenthal came out with a report that Mason Miller was atop the Jays priority list. Same with Johan Duran. Mason Miller was traded for the third best prospect in all of baseball. The Jays could have never matched that offer. I don't think even with Arjun Amala, with Trey Savage, like both in there, the Padres just did AJ Preller things and just go all in because they, produce pitchers like cookies. And obviously at that point, you're not gonna be able to get them. It's a very notable piece here that they are looking for a bat as well, because that's something we haven't been discussing too much. Like Stephen Kwan seems to be available. Does he fit? He's obviously more than a bench bat. They want a righty hitter to replace Miles Straw, I think, at this point. Not to get rid of Straw entirely, but to be able to pinch hit. Because when your pinch hit options are Miles Straw, Tyler Heineman, guys like that, you can absolutely upgrade from there. Now, as of 30 minutes ago, Ben Nicholson Smith came out and revealed that the market is moving quickly. In the last day, Mason Miller, Johan Duran, Helsley, Tyler Rogers, Finnegan, Kittredge, Ferguson, so all these guys have been traded, and there are still more relief trades to come. Now, let's dive into who we're expecting the Jays to go after. Mitch Bannon moments ago said that despite many of the top relief pitchers being moved, there are others available that the Jays are pursuing. Doval, Griffin Jax, Cade Smith, and David Bednar. Now, as of this moment, the Yankees seem to be the forefront and at the front of the list for David Bednar, according to multiple sources. So if they go ahead and get David Bednar, the Yankees, that's obviously not great for the Jays. Doesn't move me too much. Like David Bednar is an elite arm, but the Yankees still have their problems, and it wasn't fully the bullpen. Although they solved a couple of them with Ryan McMahon and things like that. However, the guy I'm going to be talking about today is, of course, Griffin Jax. And when you're looking at it from the perspective of the Toronto Blue Jays, Griffin Jax, you remember a few years ago in the wildcard series, he was very, very good. And if the Jays can grab a Griffin Jax, yes, he hasn't had the best year this year to date. But you add that with Sir Anthony Dominguez. You add that with a guy like Shane Bieber. Let's look at his peripherals. He throws very fast, averaging 97 miles per hour. And despite his stats this year, a 4.5 ERA and already pitching 50 games, he's having a bit of a down year. You look at his previous couple years, he is a elite reliever, right? Not this year necessarily, but his peripherals, he has the best chase percentage in baseball. And again, he is a pure strikeout reliever. And is he a better acquisition than Sir Anthony Dominguez? I think that the advanced analytics are hugely in both their favors. But if you go out and get Griffin Jax, don't be fooled by the 4.5 ERA. He's pitching on a very bad, very weird and underwhelming, bad, really, Minnesota Twins team right now. He throws fast. He gets a ton of swing and miss. It would just be a perfect addition. And obviously, he'd be at the top end compared to the players that are available. Like, obviously, you probably prefer David Bednar, but even Bednar had a 5+ ERA last year and then bounced back this year. And relievers are very volatile at this point. And obviously, for the Toronto Blue Jays, Griffin Jax is pretty reliable, and of course, he can pitch multiple innings. We saw last year one of, if not the best reliever in the AL last year, one of the best relievers. Of course, you have Class A, was by far the best, but 2.03 ERA, 72 games. He is a workhorse. He has great advanced analytics. I'm all in on Griffin Jax. And we know the Jays have made moves with the Twins in the past. They've made moves with them plenty of times. Most notably, of course, the biggest one was the José Berríos trade. But even, beyond that, I'm very curious to see. And again, report came out from Ben Nicholson-Smith last night saying that the Jays really like the deal within their comfort range, specifically regarding the teams that they work with. Minnesota Twins, they did the Berríos trade with. Cleveland Guardians, we've seen they traded Shane Bieber, Andres Jimenez in the offseason. They constantly look for moves there. I would pencil in Griffin Jax as their number one option at this point. You also have, of course, David Bednar, who is available. 2.37 ERA this year, been elite. The year before, of course, 5.77. But again, relievers are so volatile that it's hard to really pinpoint. I would take Griffin Jax's stuff all day long. He has great advanced analytics. He's a great reliever. And for a Toronto Blue Jays team, it would cost a lot. I'm curious to see what it would cost. Would it cost one of their top 5 prospects that are remaining? You already gave up Cal Steven. Would it cost a Johnny King type? I'd hope not, but it's possible. There's also other options. Cade Smith, a very interesting guy. Danny Colomb, Dennis Santana, all these different guys. Phil Maton, or Maton, I think some of you guys said it was pronounced. Phil Maton is a very, very good reliever as well. He has great advanced stuff, does not throw fast at all. They have a lot of options available. And if you go out and you're the Jays and you get, again, the Mason Miller is acquired by the Padres. If you go out and you get one more bench bat to replace a guy like Miles Straw, specifically as a pinch hit option, or someone who can even have more upside than that, and then you get one of the top relievers that are left, depending on who that is, this is an A-plus trade deadline for me. You already got your ace starting pitcher in Shane Bieber, if he's healthy. I think it was the best option. And there was a very narrow road at this trade deadline, given the Jays' assets, to acquire a front-end starter, at least the possibility of one, and a great bullpen acquisitions, right? They acquired the front-end starter with Shane Bieber. Again, it's a very, very cautious situation in the sense of he could be injured and be injury-prone, or he could end up starting game 1 of a playoff series and be absolutely dominant, right? He has the high upside that you want. And then B, you can go out and get a reliever because you didn't have to give up any of your key assets for either of the two. Yes, Cal Steven is a very good reliever. He's not a top of their list of prospects that they want to hold on to. Same as Anthony Dominguez. You give up Jordan Watts Brown, which is looking like a better trade day by day because of the other prices. I mean, Mason Miller, obviously not at the same level as a Anthony Dominguez. He was given up for a haul, the third best prospect in baseball for a reliever, which is crazy. And it's going to be interesting to see what's happening here. David Bednar, again, the Yankees are heavily pursuing him, viewed as the front runner. Maybe the Jays can come in and swoop him up, but I'm fine. And I would prefer, actually, I think, Griffin Jax at this point over David Bednar. I'm just a huge Griffin Jax guy. But let me know down below what your thoughts are on this. It's going to be crazy. Also, as of this point, Steven Kwan is going to be traded today, according to multiple sources. The Astros are the team to watch for him. So, folks, we're going to keep you up to date every step of the way. Stay tuned for a potential stream later. And most importantly, make sure to hit the subscribe button. More videos are coming, and the Jays are not done. More moves are on the horizon. See you guys later. Cheers.